Hello collective, welcome back to the channel. Gigi here. Well, I'm sitting here preparing to do another reading tonight, and I pick up Divine Circus, start shuffling, and all I hear in my head is, the Sea Witch is back, the Sea Witch is back. And I had to come on right away. Don't even have everything pulled, don't even have anything set up, but we're just going to get into it. Thank you so much for being here, folks. I love and appreciate you all. If you're new, please subscribe to this novella channel. This is going to be a good one. So let's just get into it. Let me get my sage and my stuff here quick. As I get through this, I'm really trying to lock onto this energy, but let's do the quick disclaimer. This is a collective energy reading. So please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Place yourself where you belong if it does. And remember, Gigi's not a therapist. I'm here to relay messages, and I have a feeling this is going to be a good one. On the table tonight, I have tarot, I have Divine Circus, I have the Zodiac, and I'm going to be pulling the Romance Oracles. Yeah, I have another reading, and I have a feeling this energy's pissed at what I called her, the Sea Witch, a skank. I called her a skank, I'm not even going to lie. Yep, so the reading that's posting as we speak, you'll see that one before you see this one. It's called Divine Masculine, Your Dark Energy and Attempts at Pulling on Divine Feminine's Energy Will Never Stop Her from succeeding. Yeah, I have a feeling she's pissed about what I said about her in this one. So we're going to see what this Sea Witch has in store for us. Let's just get going. Okay. Oh boy, Holy Spirit, please come down with your angels, my ancestors, loved ones, and spirit guides that have ascended to the highest white light to protect and guide me as I channel this energy for our collective. Please only allow your heaven's white light to surround this reading and cast all darkness from any succubuses, incubuses, and any other demonic energies that may be sending evil eyes or just trying to linger and hurt a divine being. Please allow me to channel clear, honest, and precise messages for the collective during this reading. I love and appreciate you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, angels. Thank you, ancestors and loved ones and spirit guides, for being here to guide me. Oh, God. Oh, boy. I'm a little nervous. Not really. All right, Spirit, let's see. Oh, yeah. The tarot is definitely speaking to me. It's like, hello, we got something to talk about. Yes, we do. All right, let's see what's going on. But yeah, I definitely see the Wicked Witch of the West going. Dorothy, run. Let's see what the Zodiac energy for this reading is, Spirit. What is the Zodiac energy for this reading? Okay, Spirit, what is the energy, please and thank you, Holy Spirit? Please and thank you, Holy Spirit. What is Libra? Element of water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. On the bottom of the deck, we have element of earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. All right, we're going to start with Divine Circus on the nose big time. Here we go. Oh, Lord. All right. What does Divine Circus have to say for this reading? What does Divine Circus have to say to start this reading off, Holy Spirit? Oh, my entire face is on fire. Oh, my ears. Oh, my ears. I have my amethyst earrings in play, so I'm being protected that way too. All right. My ears are on fire. All right, Spirit. From Divine Circus, where are we starting with this? Bear with me just a second, folks. Okay. Thank you. Oh, yeah, this is definitely going to be the cherry on top of something. She's showing somebody, she's like stabbing somebody in the ribs, like in the soft, meaty part. Holy, holy crap. Oh God. Okay. What is this? I see a very evil person looking somebody in the eyes, and then just, they're looking down, they're looking at each other passionately, and it's like Armageddon's happening over their head. And then all of a sudden she stabs him in the ribs, and he falls to his knees and starts bleeding from the mouth. It's basically like he's falling into the pits of hell. It's like hell's raining down upon him. I'm being shown tower moment in a very, very dark and scary place. He is going to be in a dark, is he in a dark? Oh, confirmation. Oh dear God, help me. Okay. It's going to be an awakening to some very demonic crap that's been going on around a divine masculine. This is what happens when you choose the wrong one. Holy shit. I don't know if I've watched too many freaking superhero movies, but this looks like the opening scene to like some kind of Wonder Woman movie. I don't know. But it's like literally like I'm seeing a divine feminine saying yeah, no, and coming in and starting battle. Like taking, it's like Kali. Where's my Kali deck? Or not my Kali deck, it's the card of Kali in this deck where she's got the head of the succubus. She comes in divine feminine and she slices, she takes this succubus's head right off. Where are you, Kali? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Holy crap-oli. Holy crap-oli. Where are you? Hello? Where are you? Haha. Yep. I don't know if it's because, like I said, I don't know if it's because I've seen so many freaking, like, superhero movies in my life, but I literally see this woman, this evil succubus, stabbing divine masculine in the ribs. He's on his knees, like, dying in front of her. She's hackling and cackling, like she thinks she won, and then divine feminine comes up behind her, like, flying through the damn air with her sword and takes her damn head off. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. This is going to be a massive divine intervention, a forced awakening. He's going to be brought to his knees by this sea witch. He gave her everything. The life she always wanted. And she just stabs him in the ribs. Tries to take everything from him, right down to his own life, to sentence him to the pits of hell, but divine feminine saying no. There are angels behind her, protecting her from the rest of the demons that are surrounding him. And she goes head to head. She literally just takes off her freaking head. There's more to the story, though. We need to get to the cards. We're going to put her here. I'm actually shaking. This is 26. You're so close to success, to the final attainment, to all your efforts coming together perfectly. All that remains for you to do now is one final step, one last choice, commitment, attitude, or action, and your success will be complete. Sweet, sweeter than any ice cream sundae with a cherry on top. I'm being told twin flame union, finally. That might change. I don't know. I'm actually nervous about this reading. I don't ever just do a reading with tarot. Oh, I see somebody with, there's the Ten of Wands. Yeah, that's definitely looking like a burden. Somebody's burdened and stressed. Somebody's burdened and stressed about money and where it's going. On the nose big time. Holy guys, the goosebumps. Can you see that? Can y'all see that? Right there. I'm not messing around. This is insane. Divine Masculine, listen to Gina. I'm not even going to use the nickname. Listen to Gina. This succubus that you have been in cahoots with, doing whatever it is, getting engaged, possibly getting married to, doing all the things that you know deep down inside of you should have been done to your divine feminine. You're about to get smacked into reality. I mean, but good. I'm scared for you. I would never. Hang on just a second. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go tend to my 3-year-old. All right, like I was saying, Divine Masculine, you are about to be brought to your knees. I cannot begin to describe what I'm seeing. It's like literally Armageddon is at your doorstep, and you are about to be, this woman is going to try to slay you. She wants to kill you. I don't know if it's just an energetic metaphor for what you're about to face. It's going to feel like you're getting stabbed in the ribs by the person you tried to give your whole heart to when you're about to be literally be saved by the one that you should have given it all to. Okay, Spirit. I want to just burn some more sage just to cleanse my hands. Sorry, I feel like there is something very dark lingering around somebody, this masculine in particular. He gave it all to a succubus demon that wants to just destroy him. It's going to feel like death. Whatever is about to happen, whatever this tower falling, whatever this awakening is going to feel like he is being stabbed in the right here in the soft part, man. I almost don't want to do this reading. All right, Spirit, give it to me, please. What do we got here, Spirit? Thank you. Let's just start there. 10 of Cups. We all know what the 10 of Cups means, but I'm going to read you the actual meaning from the book. Wish fulfillment, your happily ever after. The Suit of Cups, like a fairy tale, ends with a happily ever after card. In this moment, the hard work and fostering healthy, loving relationships, in all sense that all is right with the world. In addition, looking from this vantage point at the future is glorious. You are all sharing the same beautiful dream and ready to take the next step together. The future may bring challenges, but you know together you can face anything. Advice: really enjoy this feeling, imprint in your heart, and make sure your loved ones know without a doubt how you feel. You can draw on this feeling for strength during hard times. Okay. Spirit, explain to me what this is about. All of those thoughts, divine masculine, all of those dreams of things about you and divine feminine that you tried to use to manipulate the situation with this succubus, that all of this beautiful loving feeling that you were trying to force into this situation that you're in currently, that caused the separation between you and your divine feminine, yeah, it's all about to be snatched up from you. All of the things that you were seeing in your mind, happy families and meadows, sailing the seas and showing her beautiful things, this was all supposed to be with divine feminine. All of those lovely trips, all of those excursions, all of the fun, all of the adventures, all of that was with the wrong person. You gave all of that energy to an actual demon. Archangel Metatron's clarifying it for me on the nose, big time. This, all of that you were giving to a demon. A demon! Why? Because of your shallow mind, your ego, and narcissism. This awakening is probably going to open your eyes to so many things. Oh my God. The Nine of Swords. Where are you? Isolation, long-term insomnia, over-reliance on sleeping aids, booze, drinking, possibly cannabis, overindulging in cannabis, drinking themselves cuckoo crazy. I'm being shown no doze during the day, melatonin possibly at night, on top of binge drinking. On the nose, big time. Why? Why, Archangel Metatron? Why is this happening? He's trying to ward off the demons that are haunting his sleep. Yes. Because he was manipulating a twin flame. He was trying to use a twin flame journey to manipulate a shallow-minded, gold-digging succubus. Oh, yeah. And the reason it's in reverse is because we already know that he's been haunted. The haunting will not stop. He's using intoxicants to get him to go to sleep. Is he still having nightmares? On the nose. Extremely bad ones too, which is why he's using all the anything he can do to sleep. Anything. Because he refuses to see the reality of the situation. Refuses. The Five of Coins. We got the element of water, air, and earth. Water, air, and earth. Oh Lord. Okay, the coins. Energy and resources are, in general, meant to flow. However, there are times when saving or conserving is the wisest course of action. This situation suggests careful budgeting and wise investing, because a time is coming when a nest egg or safety net will be needed. For a lawyer, I'm being told, for business investments, real estate investments, and other investments in general, there is going to be, I'm being shown the word bloody, lawsuits, court hearings, all different kinds of things. Maybe a trip is being planned or a large purchase in near future. So if so, having something set aside will make that more likely to happen. Be careful with your budget and your curtail your spending. Conserve your energy and resources however you can. Store up your power. It'll come in handy. Is it too late for that? Yeah, your frivolous spending on these gold diggers and your shallow mind, you may end up with nothing or very little in comparison to what you think you're about to have. Failed investments, big time failed investments. Tax fraud, tax evasion. No, paid taxes, but tax fraud. Never lie on your taxes, man. Never. Someone is about to get a hefty sum of money. Lies, due to lies and manipulation. On the nose. Big time. My fucking ear is on fire. Excuse my French, but I'm just, my tongue is a little bit looser right now because I'm a little tripping out right now. I'm tripping out a little bit. Excuse me, Spirit, I'm sorry. That's just gonna be the cherry on top of it. Not only is your heart gonna be broken, not only are you gonna turn full force into your addictions, if not just let them overtake you, but they're gonna take you for everything. For everything you're worth and then some. Is there millions on the line? No, probably a few 100,000. I'm being shown upwards of 300,000 or 400,000. Mostly because the business investment, tax fraud, which allowed them to have the real estate investments on the nose big time. Holy shit, what are y'all up to? What are y'all up to? Let's get some more from the tarot. Oh, nobody's partying right now. Let's see what the reverse meaning of this one is. Somebody's was swinging in the breeze too long. On the nose big time. Swung a little too far right instead of left. Feeling left out, partying, too much partying. Yeah, I can totally tell. Living like it's their last day on earth. It's going to feel like the last day on earth when you have this awakening. It's going to be a really bad dark night of the soul. It may even bring this person to death's door. Yep, on the nose. I'm not allowed to say am I allowed to say any of this? Can I give any details? Not at all. Okay. Were you being too indecisive? Did you want your cake and have it too? Did you want to party and bullshit and try to drag a divine feminine into it? Well, here's the reality of it. Your divine feminine is going to come swooping the actual F in and save you from your damn self, from this BS nonsense that you're in. She going to come in like Kali and slay that son of a bitch. Going to take that son of a bitch demon out. Excuse my language again. Like I said, my tongue's a little looser tonight than it has been in a long time. I apologize in advance, folks. This is an 18+ channel. Just remember that. Holy Father, please forgive me for my foul language in this reading. I understand. I'll do my best. Whoa. King of Wands in reverse. Where's the king? Lack of attention to emotional matters, logical reasoning, or physical concern. It's exactly what I was saying. He was wanting to have his cake and eat it too. He was too busy about looking good and having arm candy instead of paying attention to his emotions. You remember how I was saying he swung a little too far to the right? Yeah, that was that physical concern. Those were the physical concerns, the body image, instead of worrying about the emotional connection. He got himself stuck up with a freaking incubus because he was too busy swinging too far right with them shallow-minded, egotistical, narcissistic behaviors. Getting involved with gold diggers that are now about to take him for everything he's worth and break his heart into a million pieces, to the point now where this, in the 5D, I'm literally seeing Xena freaking warrior princess coming down with her sword about and taking somebody's head off. An actual demon's head off. To save their other half. By the way, the timeline update is we have strength. We have Leo on the table. Yeah, it's going to take the strength of God and his angels to help this divine feminine through it. Like I was saying, the angels are right behind her, protecting her from all the other demons so she can focus on slaying this one SOB. You see her in that armor? She's manned and ready for battle stations. You see the battle flags there? You see that lion standing there is proud and strong, chained up and ready to freaking be unleashed? Yep, that's the strength. Now you got all the elements out on the table. Timeline update, it's March 14th, 2022. It is 8:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Central Valley, California. What else we got, Spirit? Two of Swords, the Knight of Cups. I wish I knew this off the top of my head. I really do, but I'm learning. Ignoring a problem, refusing to accept facts, lying to yourself. He sure did. Was there any precursor? Was there any red flags that he ignored? A million of them, I'm being told. A million of them. Intuitive messages divine feminine gave him. Dreams, nightmares, letters. I'm being shown a ton of letters that were written and sent. Were they received? I am being told they're not going to tell me. But there was letters that were given or something. There was letters sent whichever way that had messages on them that were speaking directly to somebody's soul. Gifts to open somebody's effing eyes. Meaningful messages. Calls in the middle of the night with intuitive messages and messages of concern. All trying to prepare this masculine for something. Whether they were from spirit or divine feminine or whoever. Was it anybody else? Not at all. Not too many people want to associate with this masculine. For what reason? Manipulative, shallow, egotistical, too big of an ego. Thinking he was Wolf of Wall Street, having the big D energy, made himself look like a pompous asshole. Knight of Cups. I feel like that's very emotionally immature, but I want to be sure. Head in the clouds, indulging in am I right? Yes, indulging in romanticism and obliviousness. Yeah, you were oblivious because you had rose-colored glasses on, were manipulated through too many Mercury retrograde type of illusions. Excuse me. Having your head up the succubus's ass too far. Oh yeah. But she's so pretty, my princess. My little Barbie doll. She lets me do whatever I want, and as long as I give her what she wants, I can do whatever I want. And now, you fell in love, didn't you? On the nose, big time. Well, this is going to be something to behold. And it's going to feel like you're being gutted like a fish. Yep. Gutted like a fish. You manipulated the situation, tried to use twin flame messages. Did he know? How did he know about the twin flame journey, Spirit? Through, can I say it like that? Through Divine Feminine's dreams. He had her in Divine Feminine in his life at one point, and she was telling him about her dreams. On the nose, big time. And then what happened? She got wise to his ways and basically let him run himself into the ground with her. And did he walk away? On the nose, very big time. And she let him. And once he realized what he did and tried to come running back, because he knew the second her energy was out of his life, he'd be effed, but good. Did she let him back? Not at all. Blocked him, spammed him, never to be heard from again. No amount of calls, emails, or surprises in the mail were going to allow her to shift her perception in any other way but forward, away from that darkness, because she wasn't going to be used anymore for her gifts. Am I on the right path, Archangel Metatron? On the nose. Big time. Nine of Coins. I'm taking that as reverse. Is it in the reverse? On the nose. Okay. Dissatisfaction, laziness, nothing's ever good enough, needing external validation. Is that Divine Feminine? Not at all. It's all about this is all about the Divine Masculine and what led him to this particular point to where he is being awakened. Why was he dissatisfied in the situation with Divine Feminine? Judging too much on 3D personalities? No. Is it her fashion sense? Sort of. Her image? That's the one. She portrayed herself as something, the polar opposite of what he wanted in that moment. Or in general. He wanted a Barbie doll that he can play with, cut and dye her hair whatever color he wanted it, that made him feel good about himself. Whatever he wanted to see her in, she wore it and didn't say two damn things about it, whether she liked it or not. She didn't care, as long as she was getting spoiled and given the money she wanted to do whatever it was that she wanted to do with it, whomever she wanted to do it with. Am I right? On the nose, big time. She let him have his fun while she was with him in person. Outside of that, she did whatever the hell she wanted. You want to get out? Oh, beep. Come on, Boatman. One had to go out, the other had to come in. Okay. Was one not good enough? No. He needed to feel like a king. Well, that King of Wands is in reverse now. Yep. And now you're the one that you casted aside and thought was always going to be there to take your shit. Yep. Now that person's going to come in battle ready to stand up for you and take your soul right out of the pits of hell. No wonder why the last reading I saw her pulling your ass out of the pits, looking like you're dead, half dead and gone. Oh my God, they're stemming together. Oh my God, they're stemming together. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Normally this is, I can definitely tell my abilities are getting more and more intense, because this is about as intense as it is usually on the actual day of the full moon. But no, we are 4 days out and I'm getting it at what feels like full power, but I'm not even there yet. Oh my God. The external validation is what's getting me. It's that wolf that want to feel like the king, that has this arm candy and all of this. Is that what it is? Absolutely. He wanted to look good amongst his circle of people. And the thing is this true what you're showing me, Spirit? On the nose, big time. The thing is you're going to be a laughing stock once they see you crumble to the ground and lose every single thing that you have worked your ass off for over a female. When you could have had the world with this divine feminine. And the thing is are you going to bless and grace him with at least coming up with something enough to get by? Is it enough to get by to get him to her? On the nose, big time. He wants to know if does he get to keep the car? Is it that one? Or are you not saying? He's not telling me. You don't get to know. You don't get to know until it happens. Confirmation. You're not being given any precursors, any forewarnings, nothing besides what I'm able to give you right here. So listen closely, listen carefully. There's specific things in this reading, Divine Masculine, that will trigger certain thoughts. So write them down in journal. I wouldn't write them down anywhere she can find them. Cup, Ace of Cups. Take that as a confirmation to all of this. The thing is this is the sacred cup of grace right here, okay? The thing is it's in the upright. You are going to be blessed with an abundance of love, and it's going to come in the shape of your divine feminine. Somebody that you may have thought was a societal failure. Somebody that people turn their nose up at when they look at her because she's different. She dances to a different beat of a drum that nobody else could even come close to. The people she associates with are intelligent, creative, social people that are going to help her. Are they both going to eventually... Let me get my crystal. This cup of love is going to come in just overflowing when you are awakened to the reality of your situation, sir. I mean, in such intensity, I'm seeing this again. This is definitely like is this the conclusion? No, the second part of, can I say it like that? A 4 to 5 part message that needs to come out over the course of this week. This cup is going to be so full of love, so full of abundance and so many things that monetary value and monetary things and physical things here in the 3D are just going to be whatever once you experience what you're going to experience with this divine feminine. You're going to see life in a whole new world. It's going to be a whole new world for you in a whole new light. You're going to see this place and you're going to see it through her eyes, and you're going to be awakened even further that you will be in such, is it grief? Yes. And you're going to feel so many deep, dark feelings towards yourself for taking so freaking long to get you to where you need to be. Too long. You could have had so much longer with this person, and you know exactly how long it is. You know your true divine feminine and how long you've known her and how many times there have been up and downs and in and out of each other's lives, and how all that time you could have had her there next to you, and you could have been so successful. You could have been millionaires by now. But instead, you stayed stuck and stagnant in the situation you were in because you're narcissistic, egotistical, shallow-minded bullshit. Seven of Swords. Those eyes in the sky. Yeah, that's spirit watching your ass. Let's see what it has to say in reverse. A plan fails. Exposure. Getting caught in the act of doing something. Is it going to be her? She's going to get caught in the act? Yes. Doing what? Not saying. Is it going to expose him? Absolutely. What is, please, Spirit, is there anything you can give me? Not at all. No forewarnings. They're both going to get caught in the act. On the nose, big time. Is somebody going to jail? I'm not allowed to say who. Oh, Lord. Holy crap. Okay. The Two of Wands and the Fool in reverse. Do you want this in reverse? Keep it in the middle? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to have to look at it from both sides so I can understand what the middle ground of this is. The world is your oyster, or it's so he thought it was. And then what happened? Oh, snap. Okay. This seems like a good thing, but sometimes the burden of choice is heavy. There are several things you want, goals to seek to achieve, or opportunities you want to take advantage of, but there is only so much time in a day and energy in a person, so sadly something has to give, and he gave up divine feminine. The good news, all options look good, and you probably can't make a bad decision. But the thing is that I'm being told, Spirit is telling me to go in the middle. Indecision, a deal falls through, lack of vision. Is that more of what it is? Is it deal falling through? On the nose, big time. But not the one you're thinking about? Or not the one you thought was good enough? What is this, Spirit? The decision, what is it? A deal falls through with the one you thought was good enough. On the nose, big time. The Fool's Journey, or the Fool. I want to know the exact meaning of this one, what this book has to say about it. Power, skill, understanding, and the desire and ability to create. What is happening may not be obvious to the casual observer. True understanding. Oh, wrong one. It's in reverse, my opinion. Why am I afraid to push my skills further? Is there something holding me back, forcing me to stay in my comfort zone? And it's that shallow-minded, egotistical, narcissistic behavior. You could have had the world if you would have just danced to the same beat as that divine feminine, or at least tried, instead of running like a scared little boy away from your emotional feelings. What was I saying? Was it this one? I have to look back. Give me just a second. No, it wasn't that one. Which one was it? Shoot. Which one was it? Maybe it was this one, excuse me. Sorry, I'm trying to keep these all in my damn head and I can't. This is killing me. Am I following my true intuition or being foolish? Am I letting fear stop me from living my soul's purpose? Yes, because of the fact that nothing's ever good enough for you. You needed external validation, and you weren't interested in what your soul's purpose was. I think I read the wrong card. Yes, I was reading the Magician in the reverse. Apologies, guys. But yeah, I also feel like this masculine is also afraid to push his skills further, and that there was something definitely holding him back, and that was definitely judgment. That was definitely feeling like that was definitely judgment and feeling like nothing's ever good enough for them, or they're never good enough for somebody else, so they'll take what they can have, and they're okay with being abused and used. I'm speaking directly about this divine masculine. who is not divine at all, and it's about to be knocked into that divinity with a massive awakening and realizing who the true divine feminine is. Is it going to be too late? Undecided at this point. Oh dear God. Spirit's saying that's true. You want me to read the meaning? Okay. Got 2 aces out on the board. You have emotion and passion. You're going to get both of those things from this divine feminine, not just good looks. Did you have any passion with this woman? Enough. Was the snoo okay? Mind blowing till it wasn't. Tantric connection with divine feminine. This woman's a carbon copycat, a carbon copy of the divine feminine. I'm being told a much younger version of divine feminine. Almost like she's childlike. Over the age of 21. On the nose. Is it big time? Much older? Enough to not get in trouble. But it's like a childlike version of divine feminine. Which was the whole reason he got involved with her in the first place. It was almost like a vindictive, evil ploy to stab divine feminine in the ribs, break her down and make her feel like trash. On the nose, big time. Is it going to work? Not at all. And even if something did come out of this, would it affect her? Archangel Metatron's laughing hysterically. Not at all. She'd wish you well and walk away, stunting like the boss she is, not giving 2 craps about what y'all do. Because she's doing the work, she's healing, and it doesn't really matter what you do with the succubus at that point, because then you would have stepped out of your divinity completely. You would have been you will fall from grace completely, and you will be stamped as an incubus, and you both will be burning in hell if anything does come of it. Is it going to? Not at all. Because there is a divine purpose. You have a soul's purpose for being here, and you need to get your asses to work. So the divine is intervening. Anything else from the tarot, Holy Spirit? Anything else from tarot? We have the 5 of Wands in reverse and the 9 of Cups upright. Aggression, fighting, and hurtful criticism. Is this the succubus to the divine masculine on the nose? Very big time. About erectile dysfunction, looks, letting himself go, belligerency from being drunk all the time, not giving her what she wants, so she talks down, making him feel more and more miserable. Oh, now I see your energy perking up like you're actually listening to me, and it's not just what I'm seeing in the 5D. Now I see his energy actually coming through as if he were, I'm seeing him listening to this reading. Lost and confused, not knowing what to make of this. Just know it's coming soon. Divine timing is at play. And the thing is, the further you fall with this tower, the higher divine feminine rises and regains her composure. Is it composure? No, confidence. Stand strong and take what's rightfully hers. So if you want to fall to the ground and burn in the pits with this succubus, carry on, carry forth. Let's see what the Nine of Cups says. Get out while you still can. In the old days, it was called the wish card. If it turned up in your reading, it's meant your wish could come true. Today, we don't go in so much for wishes being granted, preferring instead to earn our blessings through hard work. The truth probably lies in the middle ground. You've made some good choices, and the results are very pleasing to you. For this moment, at least, you can feel pretty darn good. Count your blessings, practice gratitude, and share your good fortune with others. See, here's the deal. If you actually can get out while you still can, if you're able to get out and actually go in the right direction, is he going to? Absolutely. And that's why you're going to feel like you have your wish fulfilled. But if you don't, all of that is going to go to the divine feminine. That fighting, that aggression, all of that is laying the cobblestones for you to have to crawl on and grovel on to get to that divine feminine. I'm being shown a very long, dark path that should be paved in gold, but instead it's paved in red with the blood of your hands and knees as you're crawling up this pathway of it's cobblestone. And if any of you know what cobblestone is, it's like very bumpy, very small stones paved together. It's what they used when they had horse and buggies back in cities to pave the roads. And that stuff would be brutal on the knees, like almost like kneeling and crawling on non-skid. And if you don't know what non-skid is, it's a very, very tough material used to keep boots from sliding around on decks of a ship, especially when there's water involved. And kneeling on that, then within inches your knees will be bleeding. And that's what I'm saying is I literally see him crawling on hands and knees on a road of cobblestones that should have been paved in gold, but instead is now paved in his blood as he goes to grovel for forgiveness from the one he betrayed, lied to, manipulated. Did he betray her? Yes, by using the twin flame journey as manipulation for the succubus. He betrayed the soul contract that they made before they came down here. He came first because he was supposed to learn things, but he chose not to. He chose to stay stuck and stagnant in the darkness, and now is it about to overtake him? Yes, in such a way where it awakens him instantly. And that way, somebody's getting a wish come true. It could be both of them, or it could be one of them. It depends on how he takes it. The Chariot, and you want it upright? In reverse? Okay. When they come out sideways, I always ask Spirit. Am I waiting for someone else to decide for me? Do I doubt my own abilities, or do I doubt my choices? What skills would I need to gain before I feel ready? And I'm just being told a serious smack upside the head, a divine intervention, divine awakening, a dark night of the soul, something that will penetrate the density of this person's skull. There's also, we have the element of water out here, Cancer out here. I mean, we got water and fire. We got Leo out here. The King of Wands also could be looked at as either Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So take it how it is for y'all. You know how it is. We have all the elements out on the table. Take it how it is. What else, Spirit, from the tarot? I'm going to go through that one more time because it felt like there was something that was trying to come out. Thank you. Upright. Okay. We have Gemini out here now. The King of Cups. Is that Pisces energy? On the nose, big time. Pull it. Leave it up there for now. Okay. Now, Divine Masculine, you know who you are. You know there is a soulmate lingering for this Divine Feminine. That could very well be her heart's desire. On the nose, big time. The thing is this is meant to be you two. If all else fails, if there's nothing more the divine can do, and if the darkness absorbs you completely, and if you lose any more of the energy from this Divine Feminine, I'm being shown there's a very small percentage, very small, less than 5%. Okay, less than 5% of her energy is being given to you at any time, at all. If you lose even one more percentage of this, that soulmate may very well be sent to her, and once that twin flame journey with you is done, it's going to lock in a soulmate connection. And if it locks in that soulmate connection and you see it, it's going to send you so far over the deep end, you may commit suicide. And at that point, the succubus is won, the devil has won, and you will be completely wiped out from all divinity, and you aren't going to make it past 7 years. You're not going to be able to live with yourself. There's going to be people trying to intervene, stop you from committing suicide, possibly putting you in a psychiatric ward, all different kinds of things. Basically, what you were trying to do to Divine Feminine with darkness and evil and prayers of her downfall, it's all going to happen to you. While she succeeds and gets the lover of her lifetime, that fulfills her in all ways, that gives her everything that she could ever want through mind, body, and soul, and they will become millionaires and sweep you under the rug and let the devil do what he needs to do with you. The King of Cups. Upright, just by the way. Where the heck are you? Come to mommy, where are you? Ah. The King. The King of Cups is moved by matters of the heart. Experience and authority have not made him cynical or shifted his focus to bottom lines and outcomes. He works hard to create deep and meaningful connections between people, especially in group settings such as families, work teams, or organizations. Being motivated by emotion means that he is sensitive and caring, but if things don't go his way, he can revert to childish behaviors, pouting, and manipulation. Let your heart and the desire to foster love and connections drive your actions, build bridges, and strengthen relationships. Okay. She has had her eyes set on this masculine for a very, very long time. There's a soul connection there too that is starting to trample this twin flame journey, or started. Is it a started? Even before her awakening, it was trampling this entire twin flame journey. Her eyes there was nobody else for her but him. Everyone else was just subpar. The awakening happened. The twin flame journey dream happened. Was it a dream? They usually are, I'm being told. I don't know, that's just what I'm being told. They usually are twin flame journey dreams. The only reason she didn't fight for this soulmate connection was because she was being obedient to spirit, which is why she's being divinely blessed in divine timing, and she is counting her blessings. She is being grateful for what she has. Even when she screws up, she still does everything she can to make amends and right her wrongs and do the right thing. Even when she doesn't want to, even when she feels like she's being burdened by other people's problems, she still does her best to try to help. She'll take one for the team, which is why I see her higher self in the pits of hell slaying a succubus, just like Holly did here, with a sword that looks pretty similar to that. Where is the strength card? Here she is. An armor fit for God himself, or fitted her. God fitted her in this army by his own hand, created it just for her to protect her through this warfare, this spiritual warfare against the succubus that's trying to steal the soul of her other half, the other half of her soul. All because he was more worried about money than allowing his emotions to come through, which would have then given him the abundance, the wish fulfillment he was so longing for with this so-called lover that he has, this succubus that is literally going to stab him in the back, in the ribs, gonna put him on his knees and make him wish for death. Anything else from the tarot? Leave it there. You want romance oracles now? No, leave it there. Okay, that's all I got, guys. 101 on the timer. That's it. This is definitely what's going to happen when this awakening happens, is definitely going to be the cherry on top of somebody's shit Sunday, because they chose a succubus over their divine feminine. A carbon copy, a copycat, a freaking dupe over designer. You wanna dress up Barbie? You put her in dupes instead of giving. You chose a dupe over the designer brand. You were given an option between design. You chose Payless over Chanel. Not that there's anything wrong. I'm a frugal girl. I would do the same thing if it was in real life. But in spiritual settings, we're going to use two very, very well-known brands. Payless over Chanel, Gucci, Prada, Versace, Dior. You pick one. That's divine feminine. You chose Walmart, Target, and Payless over all of this. You chose a carbon copy. You tried to clone your divine feminine in a succubus, when it was literally being handed to you on a silver plate. You were being given the love of a lifetime, divine blessings in the shape of a beautiful woman. You chose what everybody else and their mother thought was beautiful, and now you're being taken for everything you are worth, and you are going to be brought to your knees. And at that point, you're going to have no other effing choice but to surrender to spirit, because you're not going to know what else to do. And if you choose to do something as dark as take your own life, because you're not going to like the fact that you're going to end up being seen, because you're a stalker. I see it, big time stalker, social media stalker, big time. Possibly. Why are you showing me Google Earth? Possibly could be using some kind of satellite imagery to keep an eye on the fact that maybe knowing where she is, maybe being able to use Google Earth to see her surrounding areas if you know where she lives, making sure her outside decor doesn't change so you know that she hasn't moved, maybe keeping an eye on her vehicle, tracking her cell phone, spying on her somehow. Do you know people that live in her area? No, it's all being done through the internet. Freaking internet. Anything else, Spirit? Keep going. Okay. You can't seem to let her go. If you're stalking her, if you're basically stalking, there are others stalking her for him? No. The succubus know about her? Yes. How? Seriously, I can't say any of that. Give me something I can say? She caught him, the succubus caught him doing something with her private information. On the nose, big time. Somehow Divine Masculine got a hold of the succubus's private information, and she was able to track it and see where it was coming from, and then started gang stalking with her little coven of sea witches to see what was good, to catch an idea or two of what's going on, and possibly doing some brujita work on her too. Tried, got shut down. How? Divine Feminine caught on to it. On the nose, big time. Put them in their place real quick. Oh, you've got to be... Oh, wow. What else, Spirit? Divine Feminine's been well aware of what's been going on for a very long time, since the beginning. Since the beginning of the interaction between the three energies. She knew almost from the beginning about the succubus. On the nose, big time. She knew what the succubus looked like. All due to Divine Masculine and his big mouth, drunken stupors, drunken confessions. Couldn't keep his freaking mouth shut, but it was all because of the Divine. It was all because of the Divine. The Divine put everything in place exactly the way it was to give the Divine Feminine a leg up this time. There's been too many cycles of this succubus winning, and not this time. She ain't gonna win this time. And if she does, it's his last chance. Is it his last chance? On the nose, big time. One half of the soul will ascend, the other will fall. And Divine Feminine soulmate will lock into place, and she will be abundantly happy in all aspects. Is that right? On the nose, big time. All because the Divine loves his obedient people. If you're obedient to the Divine, especially when you've been awakened and you know the truth of the reality in the situation, and if you choose to be submissive and obedient to the Most High, he will bless you divinely with every wish and every dream you could ever have in this world. And I'm talking from experience. I've seen just a small bit of what the Divine can do to help bless somebody that's obedient to him. And let me tell you, I could never step away from his grace. And if you know God and you know what he wants for you, and you choose to walk away from it, then you're just a glutton for punishment that thinks you're greater than God, and in reality, you deserve to go where your soul is going to go if you don't get your head out of your ass. You want me to change the title? Sort of. goodness, oh, I forgot a card. I'm sitting here so, like, caught up in this. He's going to come to you, Divine Feminine. The thing is once this battle has been won by the Divine Feminine, at that point, his awakening will have happened here in the 3D and will bring him with his tail between his legs, scurrying on his knees, like I said, on that cobblestone road that's supposed to be paved in gold, but instead now it's paved in his blood because of all of the things he's going to have to deal with to be able to correct his bad behavior. I'm seeing groveling, almost to the point of begging, doing anything emotionally, physically, financially, whatever he can do to prove himself. He's going to have no other choice but to do it. To prove himself to Divine Feminine, to earn her forgiveness so that he can learn from this situation and still have an opportunity to live in this 3D and correct himself just literally by the skin of his ass. Like he's literally standing on, like being poked in the ass with red hot pitchforks from the devil. Like, you're almost here. You're about to get skewered. You're about to get roasted in the pit. I don't even know. 1:11 on the clock here. I just see little devil. Again, maybe I've seen too many cartoons in my life or whatever, but I see like this man falling into the pit, and underneath him are devils with their pitchforks just poking at him as he's just laying there, and he just keep poking, poke. No amount of darkness is going to throw Divine Feminine out of her divinity, period, end of story. None whatsoever. Nothing bad will come of any situation for her, and here's why. She surrenders when she needs to surrender. She asks permission until she either gets it or Spirit's like, enough is enough. Don't ask me anymore. You're not doing it. She'll go as far as getting up and walking out of situations in the middle of a party if she needs to be able to keep herself together. Instead of ruining her face value with her friends and family, she would rather just get up and leave. End conversations and allow other people to end conversations to prevent fights. Walk away, catch some air before she says anything or does anything to hurt somebody. Worked on her communication skills to be able to handle herself in pretty much any situation. For the most part, I'm being told. All of this work, there's nothing that you can do to throw her off her divinity, even if it means posting pictures where she can see them of weddings and babies and all different kinds of things. She'll look at them, put her hand on her head like, why am I seeing this? Nor do I care, and just delete and block. Just saying. There's nothing that you can do. Showing engagement rings, sending emails of pictures of babies, wedding dresses and wedding photos and different kinds of things and pictures of all different kinds. It doesn't matter. Nothing is going to take her soul but God. On the nose, big time. Not even if it's you, Divine Masculine, or this soulmate. She's strong enough to get through anything. Some things may hurt, but only briefly, because she realizes what her divine purpose is, and she's already on that journey. She's already on that path, and not letting a single thing stop her. She's got people that love her, that will protect her here in the 3D while she protects a whole lot of people in the 5D. She's very special. And if you choose to let her go completely, or if she chooses, actually, is it the other way around? Excuse me, I apologize. If she completely releases you and you go through with it and you allow this succubus to take you, is there any way? Absolutely not at all. She's going to be caught doing something. Is it something that has he been pre-warned about this? On the nose, big time. And the thing is, somebody's going to be rewarded for helping. On the nose, big time. Yep. Anything else? Can I leave it here? Yes. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, angels, ancestors, loved ones, and spirit guides for helping me. Thank you, energies, for coming through. I close this reading. I love and appreciate you all. Oh my God. Okay. Before I completely close this video out, I'm going to just... I just needed to clear the energy of that one. Oh Lord, I'm gonna go take me a bath. I'm going to bed. I love you guys. Till next time. Bye for now.